Critical incident analysis. Critical incident analysis is a term which the critical thinker will use in order to analyze situations and reflect on those and on past experiences in order to create a process of judgment making and decision taking around the actions in the classroom, and then to understand the benefits that these create for the teacher. There are certain steps that the reflective practitioner, the critical thinker, can use in terms of critical incident analysis. So let's take a look at some of these particular steps. Really, the reflective practitioner should be undertaking a critical incident analysis on a weekly basis. Anything more than that might be too much. Less than that might not be enough. Weekly is around about okay, and in particular this will help the critical thinker start to understand not only their own assumptions around teaching, but also to get a better understanding of the situations which are being created in the classroom, to analyze them, to make decisions in relation to those situations, and then to take action in relation to those decisions. So, for example, you could think back over the last week, identify some critical incidents which have occurred. Now, critical incidents are sort of things which stay in your mind because they're very vivid. They stand out in terms of everything else which has gone on in the week. And it's important to remember that critical incidents are not necessarily bad things. We do tend to use the word critical in a very negative sense. Critical incident analysis can be very positive. There can be very good experiences which stand out, which are very vivid in terms of your experience, as well as those things which we would consider as unpleasant or difficult. So think back over the last week to choose maybe 2 or 3 critical incidents, and I would say get a mix of good incidents and difficult incidents, and for each try doing the following. Write a brief description of the incident. Try to put details in there about what happened, who was involved, why were they involved, where the incident took place, when it took place. Try to get the facts, describe each incident. And then when you have the descriptions, then begin to list the assumptions that you have as a practitioner in relation to those incidents, and most importantly, pick the assumptions that are confirmed by this incident. So if there was something that was difficult for you to deal with, think about the assumptions that you have in relation to the people and the situation, and think about which ones are actually confirmed by what you experienced, and note this down. And similarly, think about the assumptions which are challenged by the people or the situation, because this gives a counterpoint to the assumptions which are being confirmed. It's almost looking at black and white or right and wrong. And then try to see how you check the accuracy of those assumptions. How do you know that your assumptions are right in this particular point? Are you perceiving them accurately enough? There can be different ways of doing this. It might be about asking colleagues to give you their opinions, or it might also be about talking to students or having some sort of recording system of yourself in the classroom. And then think what different perspectives you can draw from this process of thinking. How do your perspectives change, your perceptions of things change in relation to the assumptions which are challenged or confirmed in the critical incident analysis. And then take some time to retrospect, to think back, to think about how you responded to the situation, and to look at those responses and to think about how you could have responded differently. Critical incident analysis then can be translated into a quite simple process of practice for the teacher through this recording system. And the easiest way of doing this is through a reflective journal or a diary where you can write your descriptions, your assumptions, and your reflections.